staying in a hostel. So many people watched the last video. I filmed that about 3 or 4 years ago, and I want to give you an updated version, 2022, some tips for you all when you're staying in a hostel and what to look for. Okay, so I'm actually in a hostel right now. It's actually, I haven't stayed in a hostel in so long. And one of the things you should look for, if you don't remember, hostels, you have privacy, guys. So many people were writing about and saying in the comments, like, you know, you can't see yourself sleeping in a room with other people. But if you get a good hostel, what to look for in a good hostel is you have these sheets. So you can literally hibernate all day. Like I'm in Cancun right now. I'm gonna hibernate in here because it's the only place with Wi-Fi. I have that, but if you look, or let me show you one that's on. My light doesn't work actually. I don't know how to cut it on. You can see there's a light back there. You have an outlet for your plugs there as well. You have lockers. Lockers for me, I think is one of the most important things. If you don't have a locker, and these lockers are actually cool because you can see inside there's a plug. So you can leave your computer, whatever you need charging, hang up your coat. This is actually one of the nicer hostels that I've actually been at, period. Definitely makes my top 10. And there's a rooftop here as well. So you want to look for things like this. So some of the things people are worried about is like, I don't know if I can sleep in the other room. Well, or you're worried to talk about people, but listen, sometimes you don't even have to talk to people. So like if I arrived here, I want you to imagine like I checked into my hostel, I arrived here, there's people here. All you do is say hello to people like, hey, hi, I'm just looking for my bed. Oh, here. And you would walk up there, you put your stuff in your locker, you go up there, you close it. You don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. So a lot of you guys are worried about it. And number two thing you need to know is if you're here and you're really worried about staying in a hostel, I know a lot of you, it's your first time staying in a hostel. If it's your first time staying in a hostel, just remember, you're not alone. There's other people who it's their first time staying in a hostel as well. If it's your first time traveling alone, it's other people's first time traveling alone as well, a lot of times. And everyone just kind of gets to, you feel like you're connected with everyone because you all are going through a similar phase. You're in a similar situation. So this is something to remember. Another thing is some of you guys struggle to meet people. So some of you, I've seen you've wanted to stay in hostels because, well, you want to stay in hostels because you want to meet people. And I think if you're traveling, especially if you're younger, you're not very great at being social with people and you don't really know people and haven't really interacted with people from other cultures, staying in hostels is perfect. This morning I woke up, the ladies just left. There were 2 girls here from the UK. I think there's a guy from Spain here and there's another guy, I'm not sure where, I think Israel. They're staying there and I'm here. So every day you wake up, you're surrounded by people from a different culture. So I think that's something really important. And a little hack that you can use if it's your first day. This video is really for someone, it's your first time in a hostel, you want to meet people, it's super easy. You only need 2 questions and you don't even need both of them. You only just need to choose one. And this is a very basic thing that I've learned almost a decade, probably literally, I think a decade ago. And that's just like, hey, where are you from? And they're gonna tell you where they're from. And then what happens is as you start to travel more, you'll know something about that. And the thing is, because you don't usually want to ask a yes or no question, they're gonna tell you where they're from. So they're gonna be like, I'm from Cleveland. And you say, well, is there anything really cool to see around there? Like, or what's the coolest thing you've seen so far in your travels? Because there you get to ask how long you've been traveling, what have you seen, what are places to go around here. And when you start to do that, you start to get information on cultures and countries before you ever even went there. So a lot of you guys are staying, you gotta think of what your biggest fear is of going to the hostel. And then just cancel that out, like I'm not gonna meet anyone. Well, what's so bad about not meeting anyone? I came here, I didn't really meet the 2 girls here. They were in a rush leaving this morning. We talked for a little bit, but we didn't go out, we didn't go anywhere. There's a rooftop pool at this hostel. I didn't go up there with them. They're up there now. But what's so wrong? What's so wrong about not meeting people? But I guarantee you, if you just ask people where they're from, people open up quick. Most people are a little bit shy staying in hostels. One thing you have to understand is I'm very like, hey, what's going on? That's my personality. Everyone's not like that. So when I meet people, a lot of times they're just like, oh, hi. But then everyone opens up. And the most fun I've ever had is when you get into a room like this and you get to know all the people in here and you're staying there for another day or 2 and then it changes, the room changes, there's a whole different group of people in here. And then it just kind of keeps changing and before you know it, you'll have met, for example, I met these 2 girls here. I met them, we talked for maybe 10 minutes. They said that they're from the UK, and they say they live in the best place in the South. And if anybody from England says that they know the best party spot and it's not in the South, they're lying. So basically, what you do is with that knowledge that you take is now, if I meet someone else from the UK, there's Brits, UK, people from UK traveling all the time. I say, hey, I just met someone from there the other day. Is it true that the best parties are in the south of UK? Is it true that the best parties are in the south of London? And when you start to do that, you start to connect with people. And this is the beauty of staying in hostels. It's why I love it. It's why I love this. What you guys saw in the vlog. I stayed in all the time. Now, kind of because of business and a lot of other things, I kind of stopped staying here. Maybe I'll make a video on why I don't stay in hostels so much anymore. If you guys want to see that video, let me know in the comments. But long story. But then you start to pick up information. So then they say, actually, no, it's not true, because if you go into the center of London, it's better. So the next time you meet someone from the UK, you can say, hey, I heard someone say that the center of London is the best. Is that true? And before you know it, you're just trying to find sparks, okay? So I'm actually here in Cancun because I'm flying. I have some business I have to handle. I'm outside of Mexico and do some visa stuff. And one of the things that I've been here, I've spent about a month and a half. I live on, one of the places I stay is on the ranch. And starting a campfire on the ranch, the hardest part of starting a campfire is the spark. Because you just gotta get it to spark. The smoke is nice, but you need that spark and fire. But once it starts heating up, then it's easy. And you have to remember that when you're coming into a hostel, or you're even just traveling into a city. Because I think that there's stages. I think you need to come to the hostels, meet people in the hostels, build a relationship with people in the hostels, then graduate to a point where you come in the hostel, but then you do it with the people that are from that country or that city outside of the hostel, because then you push yourself. You need to always be growing. But one of the things you'll understand as you start to do it more is as you start to make a spark with people. You meet one person, it gives you this momentum, and you take it to the next person that you meet. Then you take it to the next person that you meet in the hostel. Then all of a sudden that momentum builds up where you're used to talking to people who you don't know, because when you push yourself, that's when you're growing. That's when you're challenging yourself. It's supposed to be a challenge. And you gotta just keep challenging yourself. That's when you grow. Right in between that, the growth happens in between your support and your challenge. You're supported by the people around and yourself, and you're challenged because you don't know anyone or anything. I don't know anyone here, but I've met so many people just being here. And number one tip for meeting anyone anywhere, if you don't know what to say, forget everything I just said. And just remember to smile and say hello. You're gonna make your first trip, maybe in a long time in a hostel, or maybe your first time in a hostel. Guys, there's happy people everywhere, and there's people who don't want to talk to anyone everywhere. And sometimes you might happen to meet those kind of people. It's fine. Everyone is different. There's someone who's just been traveling for 20 hours in a bus and they're just arriving here and they're tired. There's other people who have been here for a week and a half and they're exhausted from partying. But you have to remember, there's other people who just got here that first night and they want to go out. Just find your people. You need to find your people when you're in a hostel. They're everywhere. The people who are in my hostel room right now, they're not my people. My people, we say hello directly, really happy. We ask each other a lot of questions. Those are what my people do, because that's how I am. Now, there's nothing wrong with the people here. The two girls that were staying here, they were very lovely, but it's just, they're just not my kind of people, because we just respond, and that's how it is. So I want you to understand, as you're going to your hostel, relax. As you check into the room, we're gonna go through, let's do a little example, actually. Some of you guys need to see it, I know, okay? So this is the area here. You're walking to the hostel. You want to always be kind of quiet when you come in, especially if it's late. You close it. And anytime you make eye contact with someone, hi, hey, hey, hey. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. Put your stuff out. And you'll be surprised when you start to do that and you see someone from your room upstairs or in the lobby or walking around the city. You don't have to come in. Like, if me, I walk in there and was like, what's going on, everybody? Hey. And as I'm getting myself like, where are you from? Oh, awesome. How is it there? Yeah. Have you been staying here for a while? Just get 3 or 4 questions. If someone doesn't talk to you after 3 or 4 questions, move on, someone else. If you ask me one question, we're gonna be talking all night. So find your people, okay? Some of you guys are gonna be traveling, I know, soon, and you're excited for staying in your first hostel. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Remember, if you're feeling nervous, you're feeling scared, it's just because of what you're focusing on. That's the only reason. Change what you focus on. I wonder if you can walk into this hostel room and you can think, Before you walk into the room, you can think to yourself, I wonder if the people in my room are gonna like me. What if you just shift your focus to, I wonder if I'm gonna like anyone in my hostel room? Let me find out about them and see if I like them. What if you started there? Just a little hack. Hope this video helps you out. Maybe I'll make some other videos soon on hostels because people keep asking me about hostels. So definitely want to give you guys a little bit more value there. And also, by the way, this is actually a very nice hostel. Fastest Wi-Fi I've ever seen in a hostel. Right here. Nomads Experience. Right here in the center of Cancun. Love it and beautiful. And AC. Fastest Wi-Fi I've ever seen. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't worry about hostels. Go there, enjoy yourself, enjoy saving the money, enjoy meeting new people, building relationships, and understand that your net worth is your network. So as you meet more people around, you'll be surprised at the people who you meet. Oh, you'll be surprised at the people you meet in the hostels, and you might go and visit their city. You might go and visit their countries. I'd probably say the first 20 countries I visited have all been because of people that I met in a hostel. They seemed nice, and I said, I need to go there and see that country more. Or they've been very beautiful, and I was like, I want to go and see more people who look like that. Or they've told me something that's very interesting to me, the landscape, the culture, the sports, and I'm like, I need to go check it out for myself. But all because of people that I met. And in the beginning of my travels, everyone I met were in hostels. I hadn't graduated to talking to people on the street at that time. I was about 22 years old. I hadn't graduated to that, and that was my first time overseas. But for you all, you've had this video. I've just saved you 10 years. So enjoy being in the hostel. Enjoy having the time when you can find little hacks. I'll make a video on maybe hacks in the hostel. Like right now, it's about 12 o'clock. Everyone's out eating, touring. So now's when I'm in the room because I got the whole room to myself in the middle of the day. So something to keep in mind. Hope this helped you out. Leave me a comment, any questions you have. I'll put it in another video. And until then, guys, remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao. And enjoy your hostel.